Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jessie Lang and this is Wide Open Throttle. Last week was the 2012 New York Auto Show, and we devoted our show to discussing the much anticipated 2013 SRT Viper. Of course, there were other noteworthy debuts in New York, so today we're taking a look at some of the attention-deserving rides that were unveiled. Motor Trend's Detroit editor Todd Lassa was on the show floor and has more.
Thanks, Jesse. Well, I've been covering the New York International Auto Show since 1997, and I have to say this might be the biggest one I've ever covered in terms of mainstream product. And in the last 5 to 10 years, there have been a lot of green cars here, but there are a lot of new sedans and a couple of sports cars debuting at this show, including the SRT Viper. Ralph Gilles announced at this show that SRT will be re-entering the American Le Mans Series with that car. Well, you know by now that this is a huge year for midsize cars in the U.S. There's a new Chevy Malibu, a new Ford Fusion, there'll be a new Honda Accord coming, and this 2013 Nissan Altima, which made its debut here at New York. Now the car gains a little bit overall length, about 0.8 inches and 1.3 inches in width, but it loses 79 pounds, largely due to high-strength steel. The weight, Nissan says, is somewhere in the 31 to 3,200 pound range, which is about the same as the new Dodge Dart and the Chevrolet Cruze. Nissan has two engines for the car. The 3.6 liter V6 remains, but there's a new 2.5 liter four-cylinder, an all-new, brand-new engine that makes 180 horsepower, and Nissan says at 27 miles per gallon city, 38 miles per gallon highway, the best fuel mileage of a non-hybrid, non-diesel car in its class. This is the new fourth-generation Toyota Avalon going on sale this fall as a 13 model. It's the big Toyota. It competes with cars like the new Chevy Impala here at the show and also with the Ford Taurus. Now, for the fourth generation, Toyota has tried to go much more expressive, finding a newer, younger buyer. And as you can see, Toyota's trying very hard to get away from its vanilla image and make this car more expressive. A lot of side surfacing with two grills. It's a very expressive, different kind of Toyota Avalon, but it is still a Toyota Avalon, so it's big, luxurious, has a 3.5 liter V6. We also expect sometime in the future, although Toyota won't confirm, that we'll see a hybrid version with a four-cylinder engine in this car. Chevrolet brought out the new 2014 Impala pretty early here at the New York show. It brought the car out after showing us the 65 and 66 Impala, in my opinion, the two best looking Impalas ever made, and a little bit of a painful reminder of what a full-size car with rear-wheel drive can look like. Still, that said, I think this new Impala pretty much hits the bullseye in terms of styling. It's got that what we call fuselage kind of body surfacing that reminds me of the late 60s and early 70s Chevys, without being a one-bit retro. The car will have three engine choices: a 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine, a 2.4 liter four-cylinder with e-assist like the Buick LaCrosse, and then the 3.6 liter V6 engine making 303 horsepower. 6-speed automatic transmission, of course, and a much nicer interior than the straight-to-rental Impala that Chevrolet has been selling for many, many years. Mark Royce told me that this car will be priced accordingly. It'll be priced as a Chevrolet and won't step on the Buick LaCrosse's toes. This car will debut with some new features, a lot of Technoid sorts of things that they won't be rolling back into the LaCrosse, so it'll have a little bit of an advantage there. The Impala now, with its new styling and higher quality interior, is finally a competitor for that Toyota Avalon that we've seen elsewhere at this show. Carlos Ghosn came to New York in part to introduce the Infiniti LE concept. This is an all-electric car based on the Nissan Leaf. If you think of the Lexus hybrids based on the Toyota Prius, kind of the same idea, a luxury all-electric car. Carlos Ghosn said that this car could be on the roads within 24 months, and I spoke with Shiro Nakamura, the chief of design at Nissan, who told me that this car is about 85% of what the production vehicle will be. Now, Ghosn also said that the car will have about a 100-mile range on a full charge of electricity, although he didn't go into details on the powertrain. One detail he did show was this wireless recharge system. It's like one of those induction systems for your mobile phones. You just don't have to plug it in. You put your mobile phone on top of it and it recharges. In this case, you have something like this, and Nissan says it's still developing the system, that you would put on your garage floor every time you drive home, pull into your garage in the evening, and it'll recharge overnight. Big debut for the Ram pickup truck brand. This is the 2013 Ram 1500. While it looks a lot like the old Ram from the sheet metal, there's a lot new underneath. In fact, Chrysler reworked this truck a lot more than it had originally planned. It stiffened the chassis and took 20% of the weight out. It added the new 8-speed automatic transmission, now called TorqueFlite, a nice retro name from the past, just like Dodge Dart, to the 8-speed transmission that debuted in the Jeep Grand Cherokee about a year ago, and in the Dodge Charger and Chrysler 300. In this truck, it's available with the new 3.6-liter V6 option or with the Hemi V8 engine. The Hemi V8 engine gets cylinder deactivation for the first time in the truck. There's air suspension as an option, and there's automatic start-stop, and also industry first electronic power assisted steering. With all these changes, with all these fuel economy improvements, Ram claims that this new pickup truck will be more fuel efficient than the EcoBoost Ford F-150, if you order this truck with V6, of course. Now, Ram doesn't have EPA numbers yet. We'll have to wait and see, but it's a big claim. All right, back at the Detroit Auto Show, we broke the news that Chrysler is looking at a new Barracuda to replace the Challenger. Now, of course, they're not going to bring back the Plymouth name. That would probably be the SRT Barracuda. Well, here's the first all-new car in the SRT brand. It's the new Viper, the car everybody's been waiting for. It retains the old Viper platform, although it's been heavily reworked and it's much lighter, and 100 pounds lighter for the overall car, another 57 pounds in weight reduction if you choose the track package. Now, of course, it looks a lot like previous Vipers, but it's got that kind of 911 sort of update where it looks a lot the same, but it's all new. I'd call it sheet metal, except it's mostly aluminum and carbon fiber. The engine is the 8.4-liter V10. It makes 640 horsepower, and at 600 pound-feet of torque, Chrysler says it has the highest torque rating of any naturally aspirated engine in the industry. So we're looking forward to driving this beauty, of course. One nice update is that while Chrysler considered doing a Ferrari combination, using a Ferrari kind of chassis for this car, instead, as I said, went with the old Viper chassis, heavily reworked, but it's got new seats. The seats are from Seabelt, the same manufacturer that supplies seats to Ferrari, and even the look of the seat is far better than what we've seen before. Should be a good ride. So there you have it. As you can see, for New York, this is what Ed Sullivan would have called a really big show. Back to you, Jesse.
For more information about the New York Auto Show and all the latest automotive news, head to watt.motortrend.com. I'm Jessie Lang, and I will see you next Thursday.